A misty evening descended upon the quiet town of Winterfell, shrouding it in a dense gloom. The New Year's lights flickering in the windows created an illusion of warmth and safety, but a mysterious shiver awakened in the hearts of some residents. It was on the day when the calendar was about to usher in a new year. 4 friends from the local school, Michael, Emily, Daniel, and Sarah, gathered at Michael's house for a New Year's Eve celebration after joy filled the room, and their young hearts trembled with anticipation of fun and new adventures. Yet the darkness lurking in the corners had already noticed them. It waited for the opportune moment to enter their world and ruthlessly shatter it. The first victim was Daniel. He stepped aside to check the electrical panel when the lights suddenly went out in the room. In the darkness, his cries faded, replaced only by a rustling sound, as if something soft enveloped him. When the light returned, Daniel was gone. In his place, a bloody puddle on the floor and a faint rustling remained. Sarah, frightened and disoriented, attempted to escape but stumbled upon something invisible, falling and hitting her head against the wall. Her lifeless body scattered in blood, as if a puppet torn apart by a predator. Michael and Emily, horrified, realized that their friends had vanished, and the house, once seemingly cozy and safe, now turned into a trap with no way out. A remarkably quiet moment ensued, as if nature held its breath, preparing for the next strike. Michael and Emily remained alone, accompanied only by darkness and fear. But they decided to fight for their lives, for there was so little time left. When they crossed the threshold of Michael's bedroom, something invisible and unknown seized Emily by the leg, tearing her away from Michael's embrace. She tried to scream, but her throat was choked by darkness, and only a dead echo responded in the emptiness. Michael was left alone, with an unknown horror lurking around every corner. He realized that this was something that hunted them like a predator hunting its prey. But he clung to the last hope of salvation, to escape from this nightmare. He pulled out his phone, ready to dial the police, but something wet and cold wrapped around his hand. He felt a dreadful burning sensation as red liquid gushed from his vein, as if a living entity sought to break free from captivity. Michael tried to scream, but his throat was constricted by an invisible force, and only the whisper of his final thoughts drowned in the darkness. When the police arrived, Michael's house was empty. No traces, no clues, only emptiness and darkness enveloping this ominous corner of the town. No one learned what happened that night, but the story of the disappearance of 4 children became a legend in this town, reminding the inhabitants that darkness can conceal the most horrifying secrets.